afternoon, and welcome to Cider Park in Germantown, Maryland, for this afternoon's game, the conclusion of the 1921 Continental League season between the Boston Ruffians and the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers. At this time, we'll introduce the starting lineup and batting order of the visiting Boston Ruffians. Batting first, the shortstop, number 5, Pretend Esposito. Batting second, the right fielder, number 17, Throat Boulder. Batting third, the second baseman, number 9, Squire Pondwood. Batting fourth, the center fielder, number 6, Slog Thombid. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 30, Rogue Bison. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 11, Clay Pickles. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 2, Nevada Escargot. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 19, Dilly Barr. And batting ninth, the pitcher, number 50, Johnny O'Dork. And let's hop to your feet and give a good cheer for the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers. The center field, number 5, Grumbly Parker. The third baseman, number 10, Heine Sheen. The first baseman, number 8, Fist Meyer. The shortstop, number 2, Jake Steakhouse. The second baseman, number 27, Cook Cam Lloyd. The right fielder, number 7, Rocky Cartalia. The left fielder, number 41, Truss Grundleson. The catcher, number 17, Curtis Burgess. And taking the mound, the starting pitcher for your Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers, number 47, left-hander Spruce Mouthman.
Good afternoon, and what an afternoon it is. You're listening to WFBR, Radio for Baltimore, Radio for Washington, and everywhere in between. My name is Lou Fudgewick. I come to you live over the air from Cider Park in Germantown, Maryland, for the final game of the 1921 Continental League season between the Boston Ruffians, 37 and 52, going into this game, against the 52 and 37 Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers. And we can perhaps have a sip of the bubbly drink as the Grasshoppers have ensured themselves at least a share of the 1921 championship. That being said, there is still much to be shaken up in this case. A sole possession of the championship can happen with a win for the Grasshoppers. On the mound, left-hander Spruce Mouthman. The 11-4 record, 3.69 an ERA, outstanding statistics for him this season, well above his recent seasons. He has so far given up a single to Pretend Esposito. Throat Boulder was walked, and that's going to be a fly ball dropping into center field. Grumbly Parker, it is a double for Squire Pondwood, his 14th of the season. And the Ruffians are off to a 1-0 lead. They have taken the lead in many of the games played in this final season. The Boston Ruffians failed to win in yesterday's game. That being said, they were on a 4-game winning streak and did take one of the 2 games so far against the Grasshoppers in this final series. Of course, we know of the results yesterday in Philadelphia. Pittsburgh Presbyterians getting the win. But with the Grasshoppers getting their win on the sacrifice fly, Rogue Bison bringing home Throat Boulder for 2-0. We do know that the Presbyterians, with a win and a Grasshoppers loss, would share the spoils of the 1921 championship title. That having been said, there would be quite the amount of celebration for the Grasshoppers to just simply win it today. They could have won it with 2 wins out of 3 at the start of this series as, well, Fistmeyer steps on the bag. 2-0 already for the Ruffians. But that having been said, the Grasshoppers have been in come-from-behind mode quite a bit in this series. The Ruffians, really, for being the last-place team, or one of the bottom-of-the-table teams in the Continental League, have really come on into their own in the final stretch of the season. They've looked really good. They might be a team to watch for in 1922. One out away, Johnny O'Dourque, a rookie, is making his 16th start for the Ruffians. A 3-4 record, 4.47 is ERA, 65 strikeouts. He's pitched 84 2/3 innings, and he's going to start off. Well, he got Grumbly Parker looking. He's got Heine Sheen walked to first base. First baseman Fist Meyer to the plate. A 3.38 average for Meyer.
All inside.
His first season, he was picked up from the Charleston Crows of the Nursery League, the Southern Division of the Nursery League. And again, when you think about, he hits that one foul for a 2-2 count. When you think about this team cobbled together through an expansion draft where 12 players were drafted from various teams. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3 and out number 2 here over the bottom of the first. Jake Stakehouse came from the New Ohio Debonaires, excuse me, not New Orleans. That'd be the Louisiana Lowlanders, but it's not even New Orleans. And he has had a revolutionary season, a 3.44 average, 21 home runs, 63 RBIs. He is not topped 30, he's not topped 300 in his past 2 seasons, either in New Ohio or Memphis. And here is Coke Can Lloyd. Again, this team that is potentially winning a championship in their first ever season have been carved together through a handful of local talents, 12 drafted players from various other teams, and a handful of Nursery League draftees. So this is punching far above their weight class, as the saying goes. Well, we head to the top of the second. Mouthman back on the mound. Nevada Escargot. His first season in Boston, coming over from the Chicago Teetotalers after 2 seasons. He pops it up. That's an easy catch for second baseman Coke Can Lloyd. Dilly Barr, a rookie, coming over from the Norfolk Quips. 2 seasons in Norfolk for Dilly Barr, playing left field. Only played 25 games this season, and he's going to strike out swinging. So Mouthman gets his first, and here is the pitcher, Johnny O'Dourque. O'Dourque, a rookie, played 3 games in Reno. An outstanding showing that the Boston Ruffians, in need of pitching, went and gave a shot at Mr. O'Dourque. He's not been bad. He's going to ground that one right to Coke Can Lloyd. Throw to Meyer is in time. It's out number 3, and Johnny O'Dourque, the pitcher, can go and do what he is more known for than batting. I think that's fair to say for most pitchers. I don't think he would take that as an insult. He would fully admit that, as a pitcher, he pitches better than he hits. He's going to give up an opening single here in the bottom of the second to Rocky Cartalia, another rookie, picked up from the Charleston Crows. 3.13 his average this season, 9 home runs, 40 runs batted in. And here is Truss Grundleson, who came over from the Philadelphia Brown Trousers in the expansion draft. Is having his best season for the Grasshoppers, a 3.39 average in prior seasons, 2.79 in 1920, and 3.09 in 1919. He's having an absolute fantastic time. That's going to be a misfielded. That might be an error. He might reach on the error. I'll have to see how that is scored. But there are runners on first and second now for the catcher, Curtis Burgess. Again, coming from the Chicago Teetotalers. He's going to lay down a bunt. And that's the first out of the inning, moving the runners to second and third. For the pitcher, left-hander Spruce Mouthman. And you have to imagine that this first season, a team like the Grasshoppers, a new team, and Mouthman is going to strike out swinging. So O'Dork gets a strikeout today. He's up to 68 on the season. Gets Grumbly Parker. Well, he pops it up, but it goes into foul territory. That was an attempt at fielding it from Dilly Barr in left field. And that will bring an end to the inning, so no score after two so far. Well, no score for the Grasshoppers after two. It is 2-0, and it's going to be a leadoff single from Pretend Esposito. He is 2 for 2 today. He makes it a single. 303 average for Esposito, his best season as well. That is going to be off the glove of Jake Steakhouse. Don't want to get end of season nerves today, gentlemen. That would be not great, but Throat Border is now also on first alongside Esposito on second. That's going to be infield fly rule. Squire Pondwood popping that one high up into the air. It is caught by Mouthman for out number one. We're going to see if we can get any sort of news coming in from 30th Street Park in Philadelphia. It is going to be slow going and hard to come by, but a bit of a day of chaos. All the games are playing at the same time. So we will see Steakhouse to Lloyd and a Fancy Dan to end the inning. Well, that Fancy Dan double play brought to you by Fancy Dan Follicle Products. Put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. All the salves, ointments, and treatments you could use to give your hair that shimmer, sheen, glimmer, and gleam. Don't be a Mitchell. Be a Fancy Dan.
Ball inside.
Bottom of the third. Johnny O'Dork back on the mound for Heine Sheen. The Memphis Mud Pig played 12 games in Memphis. This is his only season in Memphis. Did not spend much time at all to find his way onto a Continental League team, and that's going to be off a glove of a diving Pretend Esposito. He's on with a single. Heine Sheen, a 312 average, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. He's played 20. This is his 30th game. He's played pretty much, but he seems to have picked up a bit of a knock. That's not looking good. Huby Goosel is going to come in for Heine Sheen. That's not a good. I was just talking up the wonders of the rookie that came in for the Grasshoppers and has pretty much played every game since joining the organization. Well, runners on first and second. This is Jake Steakhouse, as Fistmeyer is on first now. Bottom of the third. The Grasshoppers, a win, would find themselves the sole holders of the championship for the Continental League for this year. The rumblings over the wire are that the Philadelphia Brown Trousers are taking an early lead in their game against... oh, well, what a catch, a jumping catch. It will, in fact, be a sacrifice fly to put around the board, but I don't want to sell short Throat Boulder denying a home run for Coke Can Lloyd. I will say that catch is worth a salt, but just hold on for that. That's going to be a tie game. Rocky Cartalia, RBI number 41 for him. It's a tie game on that run, on that RBI single. And it is tied up here, bottom of the third. Well, News from
No pass
the
high.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania may not be necessary if the Grasshoppers can just go ahead and win it outright. They will, the results of the Pittsburgh and Philadelphia game would not matter. Well, Truss Grundleson is going to walk to first, putting runners on first and second for Curtis Burgess. 2 outs. He did bunt over the 2 runners last at bat, but will not have such luxury this time. 2-0 the count. That is going to be down the middle for strike 1. Has not taken a swing yet. Strike 2. 4 pitches, no swings. That's going to be right to the glove of Nevada Escargot to end the inning. Well, that throat boulder catch for out number 2 that ultimately sacrificed home the first run for the Grasshoppers. Brought to you by Salt, the seasoning craze that is sweeping the nation. Salt, you can try it on anything. Found wherever salt is sold. Well, Heine Sheen sadly taken an injury, so will have quite a long time to recover. Just a shame. He's a rookie that was really doing very well in his late addition to the team. He will be replaced by Huby Goosel, who is in at first base. Fist Meyer over to third. And the Ruffians here in the top of the 4th have a leadoff single. That was Rogue Bison with his Clay Pickles. It's going to keep things moving with yet another single to left field, fielded by Truss Grundleson. And here we have left-hander Spruce Mouthman still on the mound. He's pitched 144 innings this season. We do the math roughly. That is not too bad. That's going to be foul. And if I do some back of the envelope mathematics, that's going to be in the dirt, so that's not a great use of the, well, that's going to be runs scored. That is going to go all the way to the warning track and tap the wall for Rumbly Parker fielding it. It now makes it a 4-2 game. The Ruffians have regained the lead here at the top of the 4th, thanks to Nevada Escargot. His 33rd and 34th RBIs, his 14th double of the season. That's going to go right to Jake Steakhouse, who catches Escargot in a rundown. So Dilly Bar will be safe at first, but it'll be a fielder's choice he has hit into. And with 1 out, runner on first, it is the pitcher, Johnny O'Dorsey, will stay on the mound. He'll lay down a bunt. Burgess fields it. Sacrifice bunt moves Bar to second. And now 2 outs. The Grasshoppers find themselves needing to come from behind yet again. Here is Pretend Esposito, who has had singles in both of his at-bats. Do not count out. Watch, keep an eye on this Ruffians team in the start of next season, folks. Well, Huby Goosel will field that, a ground ball right to first base, getting Esposito out for the first time this game. However, 2 runs were scored to bring the score to 4-2 in favor of the Ruffians. And although Grasshoppers will have to make a comeback yet again. Starting things off was left-hander Spruce Mouthman. Grounds it out right to Squire Pondwood. Throw in time was to Rogue Bison, the first baseman. Here's Rumbly Parker, and that's going to be a single that will drop all the way in right field in front. The right fielder who is throat boulder, Rumbly Parker, no nursery league experience. He was hand selected as a local talent to Baltimore-Washington and batted .335 in his first ever Continental League season. 16 home runs, 57 runs batted in. He has played every game in the pale green of the Grasshoppers. And boy, is he just beloved. An instant local hero to Baltimore, Washington, and those places in between. And then you have Huby Goosel, who can come up with a single like that. Goosel not having the best of seasons. His average far below his career. And there he comes in to fill in for an injury and gets a single to keep this hope alive for the team that drafted him in the expansion draft. He's a former New York haberdasher. And that's going to be a strikeout of Fist Meyer, bringing up Jake Steakhouse. And so many players on this Grasshopper side are really a personal story of second chances. They maybe were struggling for their original club that they were part of, for the Jake Steakhouse. In the New Ohio Debonaires, he was having trouble staying in a shortstop position. He was brought in for his heavy bat. In comes Carlisle County, so Johnny O'Dork's day is up after walking Jake Steakhouse. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. An 0-2 count for Cocan Lloyd. That's inside for ball 1. Carlisle County, a 5.64 ERA, and that's his 78th strikeout of the season, getting Cocan Lloyd stranding the runners and bringing it into the 4th inning. 4-2 still here in the final game of the 1921 season, Continental League. The Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers looking to take sole possession of the championship trophy or the league title. A win will do it. There are other situations that would do it, but let's just say the easiest thing would be a win. At worst, they could share the championship with the Pittsburgh Presbyterians. They have already guaranteed a share of it, but for pride's sake, I think the thing these fans want to see is they want to see a win. They want to see a championship being brought in. They just rallied around this team that just sprung up in its first year. Well, on first is Throat Boulder. Yet another hit for him. Again, I cannot stress enough that these Boston Ruffians are going to be a team to watch, I think, in next season. They maybe make 1 or 2 more adjustments. They might be a team to contend with. Harwood's going to swing and miss and strike out. So that is the first out here of the top of the 5th. You're listening to WFBR, radio for Baltimore, radio for Washington, and everywhere in between. My name is Lou Fudgewick, and that's a Fancy Dan to end the inning. A Fancy Dan double play. Brought to you by Fancy Dan Follicle Products. For more fop in your coif with Fancy Dan, you should try the styling salve, the crimping powder, the gelatin-based hair treatments, and of course, the sculpting epoxy. Don't be a Mitchell, be a Fancy Dan. Rocky Cartalia is up to bat. He is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles and has batted in a run. He's going to ground that one out to Pretend Esposito on an 0-2 pitch. And it will be out number 1. Here in the bottom of the 5th, the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers behind by a score of 4-2. Here's Truss Grundleson, 1 for 1 today. He has also walked to first in his 2 at-bats. That's going to get well over the head of Pretend Esposito, who could try jumping. It's going to hit all the way out to the wall. Slug Thornbed fields it, and it's sliding in for a double. Truss Grundleson, double number 15 for him this season. And the Grasshoppers with 1 out have a base runner. Curtis Burgess, 0 for 1 today. Swing and a miss for strike 1, 1-1 the count, facing Carlisle County. Pops that one high up into the air, should be in foul territory, but a good catch for the catcher. Clay Pickles makes the catch. 2 away, and here is left-hander Spruce Mouthman, or will they go to the bullpen? Will they go to the bench? They will not. Mouthman will continue to pitch. And look at that, Mouthman is going to get himself an RBI if the run can make it. Yes, they have to go to the cutoff man. Left-hander Spruce Mouthman with an RBI single, his 3rd RBI of the season. His average is 236 for a pitcher. That's outstanding, actually. Well, we're back to the top of the order with 2 outs. Grumbly Parker, 0-1 pitch. He hits it right to Rogue Bison, who steps in the bag to bring an end to what was potentially a run. A bit of a momentum swing. But the Grasshoppers do get 1 run on the board. They are only down by a run. It is 4-3, heading into the top of the 6th. Rogue Bison gets things started by popping it up on an 0-1 pitch. Rocky Cartalia in right field makes the catch. Perhaps the and that's going to be, well, Clay Pickles will round it out to Lloyd, who makes the throw to Maya for to Goosel for out number 2. Here is Nevada Escargot, who's been 1 for 2 today, but hit a double that scored 2 runs. He's hit it high and he's hit it far. Does it have the distance? It is not! Rocky Cartalia makes the... My goodness! My goodness! He has made a catch that is worth a salt, and it might have saved the Grasshoppers in this game. Well, that catch is brought to you by Salt, the seasoning craze that is sweeping the nation. Find it in your grocery stores or in your delicatessens, wherever salt is sold. You can find it with the deer on the label. Follow the deer and you'll find salt. Well, an 0-2 pitch. And it's Huby Goosel is now 2 for 2 today. An unlikely hero. An unlikely contributor for the Grasshoppers. Well, I think Rocky Cartalia. I was going to say, Cartalia has found himself playing right fielder. He's actually a second baseman. But the need for a right fielder and Cartalia's strong batsmanship has been what has kept him in the side. He's not used to playing right field. But with Coke Can Lloyd doing well at second, that's trying to find room for everyone in the Grasshoppers. Well, Fist Maya will walk, so that's runners on first and second. Just had a note passed to me that says that Philadelphia still have the lead, but we will not get too short of that. And on the pitch, that is a stolen base, a double steal as it were, for Steakhouse. Now has runners in scoring position. His average is slightly better with runners in scoring position, 3.72 instead of 3.44. And he will walk, loading the bases for Coke Can Lloyd, who is now 0 for 2 today, but has an RBI due to a sacrifice fly. No outs, so a great opportunity for Lloyd. That said, I want to note that 2 games ago, the Grasshoppers did have the bases loaded with no outs, and in fact, got all 3 outs with no runs scored, stranding all 3. That will, however, tie the game. A single line drive dropped in front of Throat Boulder. It is a tie game for a piece, and out comes Carlisle County for Fats Hawkins on a double switch with Ham Grunt coming in as the catcher. And they get the fielder's choice at home, denying the run. They force it there. And here we have it. 1-0 the count for Truss Grundleson. 1 out. A tie game for the Grasshoppers. A win today to close out the season will straight up, sure enough, that's going to go high and far. It's going to go foul, however. And that's going to be a strikeout. He sees it going by Truss Grundleson. And Fats Hawkins gets his first strikeout of the game, his 38th of the season. He's making his 38th appearance, so he's now averaged a strikeout a game. He comes in and pitches about 2 innings, and that's going to get right over the glove of the first baseman, Rogue Bison. It will score 2 runs. A 2-run single for Curtis Burgess gives the Grasshoppers the lead. 6-4, the first time they've led all game. And word is coming in from Philadelphia that the Brown Trousers are still in the lead over the Presbyterians. Well, again, a win will not matter in the case of that. They will take full possession of the championship. Regrettably, the pitcher, the left-hander Spruce Mouthman, pops it up to Pretend Esposito in shortstop for out number 3. But a huge inning for the Grasshoppers. 3 runs, giving them the lead here in the top of the 7th. Left-hander Spruce Mouthman still on the mound. Gets Dilly Bar to pop it up on the first pitch to Fist Maya. And here is making his first at-bat of the game, Ham Grunt, backup catcher. Memphis Mudpig for 2 seasons, was picked up by the Boston Ruffians. He has made appearances in now 59 games this season. This is his 59th. So, again, showing up when need be. He's always a good man to substitute in when they have the double switch. Always good to have a designated backup in catcher or something of that nature when you can pull a double switch. When the pitchers do have to bat and things like that. However, he's going to get caught. He makes good contact, but it pops up high into the air. It's an easy catch for out number 2 by Grumbly Parker. Here, top of the order, Pretend Esposito, 2 for 3 today. 2 singles. Last at bat was a ground out. Fouls it off for an 0-2 count. And Mouthman gets him jammed yet again. It's going to be in foul territory. Should be an easy catch for Curtis Burgess. He makes it right around home plate. I think they'll score that at foul out. But again, the Grasshoppers now, you can now say this, they are 6 outs away from clinching a championship in their first ever season here in the Continental League. We know the season is only 3 years old. But as one of 2 expansion teams, for the first time ever, Grumbly Parker will walk to first base. Fats Hawkins not having the best outing at the moment. That's his first walk of the game. Checks the runner at first, throws to Rogue Bison. 1-0 count for Huby Goosel, who is 2 for 2 today, coming in off the bench for an injured Heine Sheen. Huby Goosel, his average coming in today for the season, 183. He got sent down to the Nursery League, and he's going to line it out into a Fancy Dan double play. Just as I'm talking him up, he's batting 183, went over to the Portland Racket in the Western Division of the Nursery League, and comes in this game and gets 2 singles that were pivotal to the Grasshoppers. Outstanding. Fistmeyer going to get the 3rd out, grounding it out to Rogue Bison. The score remains the same, 6-4. The Grasshoppers are now 6 outs away from clinching the championship. Word coming in, there is a lot of scoring happening in Philadelphia. I don't even know it. They're just saying runs are being scored willy and or nilly. Throat Boulder is 2 for 2 today. He's gonna line it out. Oh, it's caught on no hop on that one. Coke Can Lloyd just grabbed it out of the air. I think he underhanded it. Good eye from the umpire. Well, he would have not missed. He would have not beaten the throw anyway. But 1 away now, 5 outs away. We can start talking about this. 2-1 the count. That's gonna get past the diving Coke Can Lloyd. And that will do it for left-hander Spruce Mouthman. He'll go 7 1/3 innings. In comes the closing pitcher, Peach Longboat. Well, we're getting some word that Pittsburgh Presbyterians have come back in this game. They have taken the lead, and that's going to be a base hit, perhaps extra bases. Grumbly Parker, no, good throw from Parker, keeps the runners on base. A single for Thombid. But runners on the corners for Rogue Bison with only 1 out. He fouls off the first pitch. Longboat hasn't had the best of seasons in Baltimore-Washington Grasshopper pale green. But as a closing pitcher, he came in for Mario Foundwood as the Grasshoppers took the flyer on it and attempted, and that's going to be fouled for a full count. He's had some, that's going to be a walk, so the bases will be loaded. For Fats Hawkins, or will it be? No, it will be Energy Midtown. Well, I imagined, I could have figured that out. That would be a pinch hitter. Energy Midtown
Steve Wright
has only had 2 at-bats this season. He has been coming in as a substitute fielder. He was playing most of the season in Charleston. They called him up in the late stages of this. He's going to get jammed on that one. Infield fly rule is called, so out number 2 is recorded by Curtis Burgess. Now say 4 outs away. If Nevada Escargot has had a fantastic game. 1 for 3, 2 RBIs to his name. And that RBI double. 1-on-1 count. This is an all-important out get. That is low for ball 2. Down the middle for strike 2. 2-2 count. Pops it up. It's foul. It leaves the playing area. Gets him jammed. This should be an easy catch. Jogging onto the grass in center field is Jake Steakhouse. He makes the catch for out number 3. 3 outs away. In comes Grove Bronchi, who in last night's game was the reason the Grasshoppers were able to get the win in come-from-behind fashion. They might have his number. Bronchi 1-3 record, 4.4 ERA. Making appearance number 17 this season. He's a recent acquisition from the Charleston Crows franchise. In the Nursery League, of course, the Nursery League is the tryout/scouting league affiliation to the Continental League. They have teams in the southern parts of the United States and in the West Coast as of this year. I understand there will be even more teams joining in the following year. There are just more and more scouting and promising players. Well, that is in the dirt. A bad swing by Coke Can Lloyd, but it allows Jake Steakhouse to take second base. He's going to have to return to second on that pop-up. Squire Pondwood at second base gets the catch for Coke Can Lloyd. Here is Rocky Cartalia, who has had some heroics in today's game. An RBI 2 for 4 in the batting and denying what would have been a home run. He is, however, going to ground out on a 1-0 pitch to Pretend Esposito. Well, looking to get some insurance runs, Truss Grundleson has a runner in scoring position. His average with runners in scoring position, 365 this season. 1-0 pitch, he fouls off the second pitch. 2-0, that is high, according to the umpire, although it was also outside. That is outside for 3-1. Smashes that one, but it looks like it's higher than it is far. And Slog Thompet gets the catch. Well, I didn't think back in June of this year I would say this months ago when we broadcasted the first game here from Cider Park. But with Peach Longboat on the mound and Dilly Bar at bat, and a pop-up into right field with Rocky Cartalia making the catch, I can say that the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers are 2 outs away from being champions. Popped up on the first pitch. It should be in foul territory and caught by Curtis Burgess. He makes the catch. The final out here in Cider Park. Scores in other games will not matter if this scoreline stands. Pretend Esposito, a 2-0 count, Longboat. And that's going to be a single down the middle. Grumbly Parker fields it. It's a single for Pretend Esposito. Here is Throat Boulder, the tying run at the plate. A bit of dramatics, and in comes Elbers Burleson. Another reliever. Going with a steady hand. A fresh arm. The only second relief pitcher gone today, should it be needed. That's a ground ball to Coke Can Lloyd, and the throw to Goosel. We are champions here in Germantown, Maryland. The Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers get win number 53, and they are champions of the Continental League of American Baseball for 1921. Cider Park is absolutely going berserk. There are berserkers in the crowd, it would seem. This is the call to give it to you. Win number 53, the final score. The Boston Ruffians, 4 runs from 11 hits. the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers. 6 runs from 12 hits. That is win number 53, which is enough in a 90-game season to crown the Grasshoppers champions of the Continental League. The winning pitcher in this game, left-hander Spruce Mouthman, his 12th win of the season. 7 1/3 innings pitched. Elbers Burverson gets a save to his name, his 4th of the season. The loss is given to Carlisle County. His record ends at 9-5 on the season. But my goodness, this team, crafted together from 12 drafted players from prior Continental League teams, 5 players from the local recruitment drives, and 4 players drafted from the Nursery League, have put it together and won themselves a championship. It is something I would not have imagined would happen when I was asked to start calling baseball play-by-play here in Germantown, Maryland, months ago. Well, one more thing to have at this point. We have to thank our sponsor, who has been our sponsors for the entire season. We hope to have them back again next year. We thank our friends at the Honeywheat Tobacco Company, bringing you fresh, hand-rolled cigarettes grown in the fabled tobacco roads of the Carolinas. Any time is a good time for a Honeywheat cigarette. They are good at any time, and I think there will be some celebratory Honeywheat cigarettes lit up and smoked with vigor and fervor, and in celebration of the Grasshoppers. The 3rd finest dandy of the day is Nevada Escargot of the Boston Ruffians, going 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Truss Grundleson, the 2nd finest dandy, going 2 for 4 with a double. And Jake Steakhouse, 1 for 2 with a run and a stolen base. He is your finest dandy of the day, getting a complimentary carton of Honeywheat cigarettes that I'm sure he will want to share with his teammates in the clubhouse, as they will open up so many beverages and cigarettes and whatnot and celebratory items that will be smoked, drank, and consumed. He is your finest dandy of the day, brought to you by the Honeywheat Tobacco Company, who humbly request that you smoke wheat every day. What a game. What a season. This team, 53-37. We're actually getting word that the Presbyterians lost on a walk-off to the Brown Trousers. Well, again, congratulations to the Brown Trousers on that one. A fantastic season to the Presbyterians as well. Bully to them, going 51-39. So that would have actually not necessarily mattered were the result in the favor of the Grasshoppers, but it's still to the same statement, makes it that much sweeter. An outright championship. Baltimore-Washington has their champions, and they are the Grasshoppers. Well, we will see you next spring. It will be a long season. It will be a long off season, but it will be a sweet one here in Germantown, Maryland. Sweet as the cider, not too far from here in Cider Park. But we know that there will be another season to come. We will see you back here in 1922. So thank you for listening to WFBR for all 45 home games of the Continental League season that the Baltimore-Washington Grasshoppers played and that I had the privilege to call. We have champions here in Germantown, Maryland. This is WFBR. We will continue with your local programming in just a moment. Radio for Baltimore, radio for Washington, and everywhere in between. And a championship baseball team for Baltimore, for Washington, and everywhere in between. I'm Lou Fudgewick. I will see you again in the spring of next year. But until then, don't go far. We're just a few hops away.